Hey, greetings everyone, and thanks for taking the time to join us today. So we're in the third part of our example of Flutter app, Songs app, and what essentially done we kind of jumped the gun. We went and made the detail page ourselves. So let's try to see what's going on, right? So essentially, what I realized was that this songs page and then the song detail page, right? These are like two. They both they both have the same layout. And then, ooh, I think I closed out. So, but if you kind of remember it from before, right? What we have is that we have different pages but the same kind of layout. So what we've gone ahead and did is that we created the default layout, right? So, and then our page widget's going to come here, right? So in main, what that looks like is the default layout widget, and then it's wrapped with the songs widget. And then as I kind of click on the song tile, right? If you go to song tile, and then as we click on it, tab tile, we have a default layout widget, and then the page widget is the song detail widget, as you can kind of see. So I tap on the song tile, and then I get to that widget itself. So I grab the widget, the tile color, and then some different additional information about it. Right? I should be able to pass in the whole item, but that remains to be seen. Right, so another thing we've done is also we provided for like the spacing provider so that we can uniform everything. So everything doesn't have to be uniform. So everything is uniform, and another thing is the naming convention. Instead of saying spacing 0, 1, 2, 3, and so off, we kind of just given this. As you kind of go along, if you might need to rename these because you might want to use these for like radiuses and borders. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, the spaces represents multiple values that we can leverage. Right, and then as you go along, you have your UX. Just giving some values that we kind of need. Right, so there's that. Right, and then also last but not least, if we kind of go to our DB provider, so we also have another function, list songs by genre ID. Right, which takes the song. It's a little bit of SQL. What's going on here is that we don't get the genre ID from our view. We only get the song ID. We want to try to be as efficient as possible. So we write the statement that grants all the songs, where we use the song ID to find the value of the songs table and we grab the genre ID. So now we're going to grab everything where the genre ID, right, is equal to this value. For ID, where ID equals select genre ID, where songs equals this. So now we're grabbing all the songs from the genre, and we're making sure that we're not grabbing the ID itself again. Right, so there we kind of go. And then you just go ahead and return that value, and then we should be good to go. So that's how we kind of get all these values without getting the song that's playing, that is currently selected itself. It's not playing, but we're going to see how that looks like. So now what we're going to do today is that this kind of looks nice, but now we want to try to make it an actual list. Maybe even get some like loading feature, like basically like we want to get some like loading feature. So right, so as you can see, essentially we want to try to get things in this format. So we want to try to list out all the details, and then as users click, I think we want to try to get the colors too. So as users click, then they kind of get to see, right? So here with the detail, and then what I think would be optimal to grab the list you already have. Like essentially, we should, but there should be like a third party for like state management. Just try to keep these lists in sync. But I did that for a table, and that's gonna be interesting. Don't want to build that on myself. So here's the image, and then here, right, and then here's gonna be the information. So let's see what that's gonna be built out to right now. Right, so let's go over to songs, play song, right? So that's going to be in our, so play song is that box, right, that I don't necessarily need as of yet. So that's when these songs don't necessarily need that. Now I'm looking for my song detail. right? So it's the song detail, and then what they like to do, try to keep everything conformed. Show it here. Good. Right, so I think first things first is that padding right there. Right, I might want to try to go ahead and fix it. Then I'm even looking at the list tile, you know, padding might not what I want it to be. But I think for list tile, let's see if I could just use a simple list tile for the icon. Alright, so there's kind of that. So I'm not too sure if I could use a list view, so I'm gonna have to make another. I'm probably just gonna have to make another one just to do what I kind of needed to do here. But you know, as I kind of go along here, I see the ways to try to make things more generic. You know, probably grab a function and give it like the content it needs. So it's really cool. All right, so I think with that, we're going to do not to end up creating a new widget. So grab a template. There's plenty of widgets related to songs right here. Hopefully I get to reuse them again. A bit of, okay, so this is going to be a page widget. So I would say it's going to be the song. So I already have a page named song details, so I can't. So I say song this. Let's see. Right. And then I kind of do it for all of them. Alright, so there's gonna be that, and then yeah, I got to get rid of this this page widget. So I really shouldn't have like a page widget anymore. I should just decenter. Right, so there's that. Right, essentially what I want to do is I want to grab, you should usually be like the image there, but I want to just go ahead and grab, let's try to grab the color. Let's try to grab the box and just see what that looks like. So, but first things first, I gotta go to my pages, and then for song detail, essentially what I do is that I want to say so there's that. Then I don't know if I want to leave it like widget or not, but I think that kind of helps for the time being. So now this sets a title. Or let me see if I can get the type and then I can add it to the constructor. Oh, it doesn't make it required, huh? So that's kind of tough. Alright, so. But I don't even know if in that jar I should just let it instead of try to be particular. So I'd say, and then what I see myself doing is I keep like repeating myself in concerns of these songs. You know, I'd rather just pass in the whole song instead of like every single time grabbing what I need. I'd rather just pass in this whole song, but I'd rather just pass in the whole song and make things more easier to manage. So if a thing needs to change, right, then I could just deal with the song. I shouldn't really have to be dealing with the song I shouldn't have to be dealing with like different properties and writing them out with that one. That kind of doesn't help me save any time. So if I just do that, it saves final. And then if you kind of go to our DB, we should have the types in there. There are models. It's going to be a song model, right? Because we're eventually going to need that stuff. So, alright, so there's that. So now I'll come in from our song detail. Right now we could just provide the song, really just, and then it really kind of makes things easier for us here. So like before we're providing text, but now I'm seeing that, that's not really something I'm too down for. I think there's like an error still lying around if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's why I didn't take the way it should. Alright, okay, so now it actually is. Alright, so now if you go to the song description, so now we can start filling this out really. And then that's kind of spoken. So let's see. Let's go to the description. So now, right, what we essentially want to do is we want to try to provide some padding from the listView. We really don't want this kind of do anything, but let's try and turn this into a row. Then children. And then this is just going to be a container. There's going to be a size to box. There's a container. Say the container, and then in that container, I'll just get, I think the color. I don't think I can mention that. Oh, okay. So I say song. Right, so I say widget dot song dot color dot. Oh, yeah. So I don't quite get that information. So, so I say the song detail. So the box color, and then I think what I want to do is that it's. That's gonna be interesting, but instead of just trying to generate that box color, I think I'm gonna try to add it in from the DB, so that that information is in there, so I don't have to like repeatedly, pass that information over. And then everything is kind of just in that is in the song. I mean, so I think we'll be trying to handle that. I don't want to try to jump over the place with best practices. I think this is just things to know in the next project. So usually it's best to pass in trying to update the whole object, but this is kind of repetitious. But but the sake of demonstration, because we want to try to show you guys the features, and then probably talk about coding practices and. When you do an actual project, we're just going to continue like that, and if it gets in our way, then we're just going to add that box color right to our song model, so that it just doesn't keep getting in our way. All right, so I think with that, we can see the box color. Let's call it box color. Just say that. And then so and then I'm gonna like it like that. Hopefully I could get it to be required. So I say widget dot box color. And then I probably got to get this thing a height. Or I have to wrap it in like a flexible. So So I would say I'm looking at it, and I would say it's like 3/8, so it's going to be flex. It's going to be 3, comma. But I'm going to have another flexible. So say it's container. Say the flex is going to be 5. Child is going to be container. Then expect it to find a comma. So. Alright, now the height. Give it like 80. Let's see how it's. Right, so. Right, so I think these are all like bunched up together. So I think what needs to happen is coming from a song detail that we try to margin everything out. Right, so. I think this is the flex. So, right, so I think what I'm essentially planning to do is that I want to try to wrap this thing. Container. And then vector, and then I say padding to be edge insets, not all. Then I'm gonna say, so I don't have it, I'm gonna have to go grab it. So I say final. There's gotta be a better way to. I'm just trying to think of ways I could really write this out. Right, so I can have a little bit of padding, I can't see it. Right, there we kind of go. Right, then I also want this to be a. And I think if anything, I want this to be like a. I want the text to have that same margin, if I will. There, so. I'm really trying to get that in there, if I can see. And then I guess that would be like a. Column. Looks like I got some sort of area going on there. Oh. Yeah, so it should be appearing on the screen. I'm not too sure why it's not. It's refusing. Alright, so I think what's happening. I think what it wants is that it wants a height. The list view, like column has an infinite bound, so I don't know. It kind of sucks that, you know, these. there's finally a widget out there, but I don't know what it is right now. So, but it sucks that you just can't specify that really on yeah, it's still complaining. Yeah, so usually, right, that kind of means should I wrap this one with a container? Yeah, I just want to make sure that it does have a decoration. Yeah, so like it looks like none of these have decorations sometimes. Yes, unbounded height. So let's try to get it 500 and then. Yeah, it looks like it overflows, so it kind of does it now. I think the container would let it stretch. And then I think there's oh, no, I flipped it to the side. I don't want that. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to try to frame the research so that I could kind of deal with this problem here. Container. Yeah, so it's going to complain, fitted box. Yeah. So I think from the indicator, just looking here, viewport, so this viewport needs to have like a set height, so, and it's not, and it looks like it's not getting that, so I gotta find out the widget responsible. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so I eventually asked ChatGPT, and this is what I kind of got here, so I think with that, let's kind of move on. So I think I'm trying to make this 3, I'm trying to make this 5, right here, kind of go. Now, I don't know if this is going to necessarily need that, but right here you go. So now, what I essentially want to try to do is that yeah, essentially what I want to try to do is I want to try to provide a little margin between, right? So it's a container again. RB. So I'd say 0. Right, so there we kind of go. Right, so that's what that's going to look like. But I would like to believe that all these aren't the same color, right? So, okay, and this is where the problem is. You know, this is where it's like important, like, hey, you know, the color can't come from the song detail. The color has to come from the DB. So from the song stage, the color has to come from the DB as well. Right, so let's try to go ahead and work on that. Let's go ahead and remove this border. If I can find red and white. right? So, alright, so basically, right, I have to go there. So I have to understand what's kind of happening here. I say song start art, right, and then I think the colors start to generate from here, right? So tile colors right here. This is where they are, right? So instead of having my tiles come from there, right, I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna go to my DD, and then yeah, this is going to be really interesting because basically what I'm asking for is it's going to be very, very interesting. But basically what I'm asking for is that you know, I kind of take these like I'm asking that I should have access, or I don't think I'm gonna have access to it. So, but let's try to see. Let's try to see if we can gain access to the tile color. And I don't think I could pass any providers into like another provider like that. But let me try to see if I go ahead and say. Just to keep it in function because I don't think ref will be available the way I kind of need it to be. Yeah, so ref's not going to be in here. So, but I think what I'll do for the time being, instead of trying to figure this out, I'm just going to pass these tile collection. So let's say color. Then start, and then, you know, instead of this, right, I think I'll just, I kind of want to kind of do this every time, but I have to. Okay, bring this back. Color song. Color. Right, and then just to make the same. Have to define it with var. We'll just go ahead and return it. Return the song model. Let's say song model dot color. Right, we don't want. I don't think I want to mention it like that, but. Hopefully I don't need an alt color. Alright, so there it is. So my song model. Alright, and then it's gonna be what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna say, right, so basically I kind of want this to repeat, so I want to try to leverage modules, right? So basically I want to get index, and I want to say mod. So it's going to be tile colors at index, at its current index. And then I want to say the length there's that. Yeah, but modules should always return. Oh, it's kind of complaining. So let's try to see what's going on here. Or yeah, let's probably find that. Thinking that go. So it comes out to an int. So now here we go, good to go. And now boom, there. So now what I need to do is that I gotta specify those tile colors. And then the tile colors, and then I'll just say song. Name color. Good. So there's kind of that. Right, and then we're about to do the same thing here. And then we'll just work with it. So now my song detail. Yeah, we're gonna need the tile colors again, so we just try to go grab that. And then, I want to take my time to try to properly figure out, where that is. But, we'll probably just do it when we have to. Yeah, to say WindMill colors, grab that ref. Alright, grab this provider. And then we gotta use it now. Alright, so I think we're coming closer. Right, so it's like the song detail, and then widget.box color. Really is not gonna help us. Right, so song description, and then I think instead of grabbing box color, now it's like living on the song, so I don't need it. So I don't need to grab it from there anymore. Right, and then so I say widget.song.name color. So let's try to see what that looks like. And now everything's kind of going back and forth. Right, so I think we'll just pause the video from here. We're going to continue with it later. So what next we're going to do, we're going to fill out this description. So thanks for watching, guys.